Hello again from the countryside of Finland.
Maybe you can hear from my voice that I'm excited.
Even if we wait the day, you're causing all the troubles buried in my head. What was I supposed to do? Was barely standing when you fell into my arms again. You fell into my arms.
It's been a busy month, so let's have a closer look of what we have been doing.
I am so happy. I just came here and our road is plowed. Like the person who does all the roads here has plowed this road to our yard. And I'm so happy because this kind of snow is so heavy that I was prepared to sweat my ass off for an hour or something just to get the car to the yard, but now I don't have to do it. So thank you. So February is almost over, which means that winter is starting to be behind us. And even though I love winter, I'm very excited for spring because working here in the darkness is so much harder than working here during daylight, because it just feels that you should be at home sleeping instead of being here and working and in the cold and in the dirt, and yeah, it's not fun. So I'm looking for more sunlight, and I can actually feel the sun already starting to warm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the spring. But the last month we have built the base layer of the floors, and I am in disbelief basically. I feel like I'm watching myself from a distance, and I'm here working and watching myself at the same time, and I'm just like, stop doing it, you cannot build floors, you don't know shit. That's my feeling of working here.
But just like most practical skills, this too can be learned, it seems. Our first job this month was to figure out how to attach these support beams to the concrete blocks that should support the floor joists.
12 senttiä. Ja sit se ei oo niinku tuon harkon yläreunassa eikä harkkoja saumoissa. Väärin tuomassa.
Ei vittu.
We were working in a bit of a tight spot, but luckily there was just enough space for the drill bit we had. After 5 p.m, our closest hardware store is about half an hour drive away. So that means if we're missing a tool, it takes over an hour to get one.
Se päätyykin ihan melko siihen, mihin se piti. Se on riittävän hyvä siihen nähdä, että me ollaan tehty tämä. Joo.
It's a bit stressful when everything we build is new to us. But so far the support beams seem to hold all the joists, so that's a small victory in our small lives. I was so nervous to start building these floors, but this turned out to be actually pretty fun and easy compared to everything else we have built so far. And the closer we get to finishing one of each tasks, I get a little more excited. Because things are finally moving forward.
Sammutatko kamera ja laita se vipu pois?
The full moon is up, so it's time for a new workday here in Finland. Next we are moving on to another room to build the floor joists. And by now it's starting to feel like we know what we are doing here.
Left big city for the simple country life. Found myself a woman that it took for me to be mine.
We're using this linen strip on all iffy kind of nooks to make the floors as warm as possible. As we will not be using any plastics, it's important to make everything as tight as possible so that the wind won't blow through the floors.
Missä menet? Tulepa käymään vielä kun voit. Niin. Menikö keittiö? Joo. Kyllä tää oli parempi tää sun tekniikka, joka tuollaisen kokeen mukaista.
We are trying to remove all the bark to avoid any bugs that eat the layer below it. Those bugs are not a risk for the building, I heard, but I guess there's gonna be another bug or something that eats the bugs that came first, because that's just how the nature works. And I'm just here trying to minimize the amount of bugs in my home. On Saturday we came here to continue with the floors, but somehow ended up digging through our granary.
No mietinkin, että missä on talon viikata.
Mitäpä muuta sitä ihminen tarvitsee? Onks tuo jotain mattoa tuo? Joo. Hieno. Ei kyllä tullut tuolla talossa vastaan. Ehkä ne on revitty pois joskus. Täältä voi kyllä löytyä vielä vaikka mitä. Luoteja. Oliko täysin? On. En täysin ilmoittaa poliisille. Paketillinen vai? Mihin nää laita? Malli. Tässä. Oho! Voiko nää räjähtää itsestään? Mitä nää on, tiiäksä? Yksi on tyhjä. On täällä useampi tyhjä. Talon historiaan liittyen, niin ehkä se on ollut liiallista uudistusta ja ne ei ole ottanut sitä käyttöön. Täällä on lehtileikkeitä. Mazda. Onko se tämmönen rullamitta?
At this point of editing, I noticed that I can hold a conversation by myself for way too long.
Tämähän on hyvä. Sitä koostuu. Onpa hieno. Nää on tuumia tässä. Eikö toisella puolella sentit? Vau, mitähän vanha tää on? Näyttää hienolta. Ai että.
Sadly, we didn't find anything valuable, so we had to accept our destiny and go back in to continue building the floors. The next task was to install the planks that will hold all the insulation off the ground. We are screwing these planks in only here and there because that gives the planks some freedom to swell and shrink with the air moisture. And the system turned out to be super simple to do. Until we started to attach the rodent nets. Squeezing into these tight spaces, it's not my favorite thing ever. Slowly we are starting to see the days getting longer. Now when we arrive at the plot after work, we have about an hour of daylight. And on the weekends, it's still not pitch black when we leave. Working here in the daylight makes such a difference on my energy levels. Even installing these rodent nets, it's like a walk on the beach. And weirdly enough, as soon as the darkness arrived, the walk on the beach ended. We're not even sure how much these rodent nets will actually help, but we're just doing it now because doing it later would be so much harder. I'm guessing if a mouse really wants to raid our pantry, it can find its way, rodent nets or not.
Ajanko mä? Ajanko mä? Pannaan. Ota nyt vähän. Mä voin ajaa. Mikä keskustelu tää oli?
The next day was Sunday and it was such a beautiful winter day. I guess this was the first day that I actually felt like spring might be coming back. We decided to have some time off, pack some snacks and coffee and go for a walk on the frozen lake down below our apartment. Turned out nobody brought the coffee, but that can't dim the light of this day.
Rautalankaa ja kaikkea jätettiin. Mulla on jo verillä sormet.
Miksi sä pitää hauskoja?
Ja kun ei niillä saa mitään kiinni.
I don't know how many times I've said this, but I'm so happy to live here. On the next day, we were looking forward to having a short and easy day before we'd be done with the kitchen's floor space layer. We had only 2 rolls left to attach the nets and the planks onto. All through building these floors, I was 100% sure that we had forgotten about something below these joists and would have to tear everything apart again. I'm guessing we have just had a lot of obstacles, and it's hard to adjust to things actually going on smoothly.
No niin.
Varmaan joudutaan leikata viimeistä. Ei jouduta! Sinne meni, saatan. Hohoho. Niin vaan tuli lattiapohjalle tehty. It's looking good, and the guy who is in charge of this, the person who is the contact person between this project and the municipality. Oh my god, I have no idea how to say the word. He was just visiting us and he said that it's looking fine, so we're optimistic that we haven't ruined anything and it's better than it has probably ever been before. So yeah, but let's go and see. Woo! Look, the snow is so hard. This is what you call hankikanto. So there is like a very hard layer of snow on top, which makes it possible to walk on snow. I feel like Jesus. I don't know if it's hard to get a grip of with the space here in the videos. It's so obvious to me, so maybe I'm not filming it as clearly as I should, but when we go in, the kitchen is on the right side, so it's the whole space in the end of this house. There is the middle room, a small room in the middle, obviously, and on the left side there is one big space which we haven't done anything yet. So we are working in the kitchen on the right and in the middle room, in the, you guessed it, middle. Woo! It looks so nice. Here it is. Maybe you can hear from my voice that I'm excited that we have done this. Actually, building these was kind of fun and kind of easy because after we did all the leveling, like the guide boards on the walls and the structural beams and oh my god, the fireplace foundations and everything, this is just like so straightforward. So yeah, I'm not at all stressed of having to build floors anymore, but the structural and foundation level stuff is the stuff that I'm not a big fan of. But yeah, so this middle room looks a bit different because everything is ready for us to put in the planks and the rodent net and so forth, but we cannot do that because, well, there's a gaping hole in the wall, but also the veranda, that has to be demolished because it's still on a pile of dirt and the dirt has to be removed. And with the veranda, this wall here could come down. So that prevents us from attaching these floor beams to the wall there. So that's why we cannot do anything to the floors here in this room. So I think this veranda has been a cold space since the beginning of times. That's usually how they are. That works kind of like an extra storage place for winter clothes and logs for the fireplaces, and also when there's double doors, so the cold door and the warm door here, that kind of prevents from the heat from the inside to escape straight outside when people walk in from the door. So that's a very handy space for a Finnish home. And also it works as a fridge. That is where the log frame ends. So we're gonna close this here. So this space would be warm, like a warm mudroom. I don't know if that's the name. And there would be a veranda that's cold on the outside of the log frame. That way we could keep this house warm more easily because there's no like gap here in between. So that's the plan. But this room here is, as I said, it's on top of a mud pile basically. So we need to take this down so we can remove all the dirt from under here and do the foundation work properly and then build a wall here. So right now we are not exactly sure what we're gonna do next because, as you can see, it can snow in. So I don't think we can insulate the floors yet. We should put the windows and the door in, but they need to be repaired. So that takes a little bit of time, and there's a lot of stuff that we need to figure out before we decide what we're gonna do next. So I have no idea what I'm gonna be showing you next month because I don't know what we're gonna be doing here, but that's to be seen. So just in case if we start to think about demolishing this veranda, I need to take a picture. Can't remember if there's logs or not. I hate to take a picture with a flash on a dark space because I have watched too many scary movies and there's always some creepy creature there in the corner.
No creepy creatures in the attic this time. But let's see what the future holds. I'll be seeing you again next month.